everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mallory and I'm an American military wife living in Germany, and I am coming at you with my weeks 13 and 14 pregnancy update. So if you like pregnancy updates and life about Germany, make sure to stick around, hit the red subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of my tribe. All right, so I am sitting on our couch here and our dog, I don't know if you can see her. I have my camera at like just the right angle, so I don't want to, there's her tail. Can you see it? Can't quite, there it is. Zoe is lying right here. Maybe I'll give a shot of her at the end of the video. So she's right here, so if you see something moving, that's our German Shepherd. I am actually, just for full disclosure, I am filming this video when I am 15 weeks and 1 day pregnant. So I have been terribly behind, and I know that some people were wondering at one point, like, is everything okay with you in the pregnancy? And I assured people, like, yes, everything's fine. I've just been super busy with family visiting for the past month. They all went home yesterday, so I'm getting back into the groove of things, trying to get on a running start with filming some videos. Everything's going fine. I'm combining 13 and 14 just like I combined 11 and 12, and then I will do another separate video for week 15, and so hopefully from here on out I will continue with the weekly videos. It's just easier to keep track of, you guys. Like, did I film a video last week or not? So let's get into this week's video. So again, since we're combining 2 weeks, it's going to be a little quicker than if I was just doing 1 week. Let's do week 13 first, of course. So my weight, when I weighed myself, again, I'm going to start weighing myself in the morning because this is just too much to try to remember right in the middle of the day to be consistent. So when I weighed myself, I think I was 118.6 pounds, but this was more towards the end of the day. I think I had eaten dinner already. So I probably was maybe a pound lighter in reality, or maybe a little more. My belly circumference at 13 weeks was 34 inches. So I definitely started to grow around that time. I feel like my belly really popped around 13 weeks. Baby size was the size of 11. So that means about 3 inches long. And at this time, at 13 weeks, that is when, according to the Bump app, which I love, that's one of the 3 that I use, this is when the intestines are moving into place. So before the intestines, when they form, they're actually outside of the baby's body, and they're somehow, I don't know if they're wrapped around the umbilical cord, but they're outside the body, and then they move inside. Now this is just kind of an interesting tidbit. My cousin had a baby with an omphalocele, and that is where, at that moment in time in development, the baby's intestines don't move back into the body. They stay outside the body, and there could be other complications like other organs outside the body. Thankfully, my cousin's baby is totally fine. She had surgery. You wouldn't even know that she had an omphalocele before being born. But anyway, that's just like I had no idea what an omphalocele was until she had her baby. And so then following my app, I was thinking, oh, okay, so at 13 weeks, that's when an omphalocele would develop, because the intestines, just for whatever reason, don't get the message to move back into the abdominal cavity. So just in case anyone knows somebody with an omphalocele or who had one, it can be really serious, but I'm so thankful that my first cousin, once removed, is doing really, really well. Okay, my symptoms around week 13, they were really starting to die down. I was still, that gagginess in the morning, still having that at week 13. And at that point, it was really starting to get on my nerves. Like, okay, I'm in the second trimester officially. Why am I still having this? I know that the second trimester is not magic. You don't suddenly just feel better. But it was starting to get annoying, like, all right, when is this gonna stop? Because it really needs to stop. We did a lot of traveling. So my brother, Jordan, his wife, Sydney, and then their little daughter, Emmy, who is getting a cousin. And she'll only be 10 months older than our baby. So that'll be really fun that they're so close in age. And my dad. So my mom was already here. My sister was in Prague for the Prague Summer Nights Music Festival. And then my dad, brother, sister-in-law, and niece came to Germany, and we did a bunch of traveling. We traveled up to Cologne. They went to Strasbourg, and then we met up with them in Heidelberg. We went to Prague to see my sister Abby play in concert at the Rudolfinum. And then we went to Munich on the way home. So we did a lot of traveling, a lot of walking. I did have some fatigue at the end of the day, especially like more towards the beginning of week 13, I guess. But I kept up pretty well. I just had to make sure that I ate a meal regularly. And it was really nice because my sister-in-law, Sydney, is breastfeeding Emmy. So she also needed to eat regularly because you're actually burning more calories breastfeeding than you are being pregnant. So she's like, I gotta eat too to keep up my milk. So both of us were kind of, together on that. So we had to eat regularly. But as long as I did that and had enough water, I was fine. I did notice that if I didn't drink enough water, I'd start having like round ligament pain. And I just needed to sit down and drink water. So that's an easy fix. It really wasn't anything to worry about. We did a lot of eating really late at night. So like when we got to Prague, it was pretty late and we still needed to eat dinner. And like Prague is the city that never sleeps, you guys. It's really interesting. Kind of reminds me of a mix of like Las Vegas and Amsterdam. So it's very interesting, really cool architecture, but everything is open really late. And so we ate dinner at like 10:30. I don't think we got done till like 11:30 p.m. And so then, you go to bed like a couple hours later. And then you get up and eat breakfast. So it's the time, I realized that the time span that I was going without a meal was shorter because I'm like, why do I feel so great waking up? I think it was partly that. I think it was eating an actual meal really late and then getting up and eating again. Cravings and aversions, really nothing except a random root beer float craving. The funny thing is that every time I've looked for root beer in a German grocery store, I can't find it. So I think root beer is an American thing. I finally got a little can at the commissary for 38 cents and I'm gonna make a root beer float pretty soon. So no real aversions, still prefer beef and pork over chicken, but really nothing is, makes me sick. All right, something new. In week 13, I felt the baby move. I'm pretty sure. So it would happen when I'm lying down in bed on my back. And, I'm still not big enough where it's like you don't need, or you have to avoid lying on your back. So I'm still laying on my back. And I felt the best way to describe it, if you've never been pregnant or not felt something really early, because 13 weeks is really early, it felt like an eye muscle twitch. So if you've ever gotten like a twitch in your eyelid and it's just flicking over and over and over in the same spot, that's kind of what I was feeling like in my lower abdominal area where I have used the Doppler to find the heartbeat. So I know that it was in the uterine area and I just felt that over and over and over in the same spot. And I'm like, this could be gas. But normally when I have gas, I can feel it moving, like following my intestines. And this wasn't that. This was not poke, but like twitch. Some people call them flutters. I would not describe them as flutters. I would describe it as a muscle twitch. So, and then I heard from a friend and my sister-in-law that they kind of had the same thing. And then my mom actually felt movement at week 13 with her third child, with my brother Jordan. So it is possible to feel the baby move that early. So that was really cool. So that was something new for week 13. Okay, let's move into week 14. You know what? I should be telling you guys the dates as well, especially since I'm behind. So week 13 for me was June 27th to July 3rd, and then week 14 was July 4th to the 10th. So for week 14, we were traveling again. So I did not record any stats. I didn't have a scale, and I did bring my tape measure, but I just totally forgot to do it. This time we were in Berlin when I turned week 14. I was traveling with Mark and my parents. So Jordan, Sydney, and Emmy had gone home. The baby at week 14 is the size of a peach. And the cool thing, again, according to the Bump app and the other pregnancy apps I have, is that around this time the baby is the size of a peach and the baby is growing peach fuzz-like hair called lanugo. So that it's like this just like fuzzy fur or whatever. It's not fur, it's hair all over their body. And because right now the baby hasn't developed fat yet, and the skin is really translucent, the lanugo is going to help insulate the baby. And normally that all goes away before birth, although I have read, again, in my apps that sometimes you can have a baby can be born with a little bit of lanugo, but normally it's gone. But that's kind of neat. Like the baby's the size of a peach and here she is growing peach-like fuzz hair. So I just thought that was really cute. Symptoms for week 14, again, my energy was very much near normal. We were traveling again. I was walking a lot. Like walking felt really good. My feet would get really tired by the end of the day. I made sure to wear my supportive shoes, but the balls and the heels of my feet would just be tired at the end of the day. I'm starting to carry extra weight, and to be honest, I haven't been exercising except for the walking. So I really need to get more in shape. In week 14, I still needed to eat regularly, although I did sometimes kind of skip meals. Like I would, one morning, like we didn't get breakfast, or I was like, I need to sleep instead of going down to breakfast at the hotel. And so for breakfast, I just had these like sausages, like dried sausages and an apple and a fruit bar. So I just kind of put together my own thing, and that was totally fine for me. And I would not have been able to do that a few weeks earlier. So I think that my body I am feeling almost like my normal self plus a belly. Another annoying symptom is that after I eat, especially if I eat a big meal or a spicy meal, I will get this like metallic or stagnant taste in the back of my mouth, in the back of my tongue, and it's really gross. And in order to make it go away, I either have to chew mint gum or take a Rolade. And actually I've been trying to do half, because I just don't like taking a lot of antacids because it messes with your stomach acid and lowers your stomach acid, and you need stomach acid to digest your food properly and prevent infections. Acidity kills like bacteria. So I don't want to do antacids too much, but if I really need to, I'll do half a Rolade chew, and that really helps. And then my appetite is pretty normal, it doesn't seem overly ravenous, but I'm able to eat when, I want to eat. Cravings and aversions? None, really. Again, just whatever sounds good just sounds good to me. Again, still just prefer beef over pork, but I can look at pictures of chicken without feeling grossed out. And then finally, something new category. I discovered that orange juice relieves constipation. This is not medical advice, but this is just something to try if you're experiencing constipation. And I got this idea from my sister-in-law, Sydney. So thank you, Sydney. When she was pregnant, she was having some constipation issues. She tried all the typical things, prune juice, apple juice, all those things, and they didn't work. And then finally my brother Jordan said, why don't you try orange juice? I don't know why he thought of that, but he did. And she was like, okay, I'll try it. And it worked really fast for her. One night, oh, it was the night we were in Munich. We got upgraded to a platinum, like executive room or whatever. And so they said, you can use the mini bar for free. And there were these bottles of orange juice in the fridge. And then also sparkling water on the counter. And so I combined sparkling water with the orange juice and made kind of like a mimosa thing. I don't even drink alcohol really, and I drank that, and the next morning, yeah, it was great. And I told Sydney, and she's like, see, I'm telling you, it really works. And so ever since then, I've been keeping some orange juice in the fridge. I don't normally drink juice just because it's so high in sugar, even if you get one that's like freshly squeezed. But I've been drinking just a little bit every morning, and it seems to be keeping me pretty regular. So just a little tip out there, if you're having pregnancy-related constipation, orange juice is a really way to get it in, plus you get a little bit of vitamin C. All right, you guys, well that is, oh, one more thing, something new for weeks, I guess that would be really for week 13. So when my brother and sister-in-law came here, they brought us an anniversary gift. Our anniversary was back in April, but you know, we all exchanged gifts when they got here, and they got us, of course, baby stuff. She's like, I'm sorry, it's baby stuff. I'm like, no, I will take all the baby stuff. So they got us, I'm a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings, and I am planning on doing a Hobbit / Lord of the Rings themed nursery. So I'm really excited about that. So they got us these 2 onesies. Check this out. So cute. I think she got these on Etsy. So, and then this one is slightly bigger. And I was just like, oh, this is so awesome when I opened it. So if you can read it, it's the quote, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. And that just like makes me want to tear up when I read that. Like, that's our baby. Like, every life is precious. You know, I don't know what God has in store for our baby, but every life is to be celebrated, and we're definitely celebrating our baby's life. And I also found a pillow on Etsy that I have on my registry with this same quote and the Tree of Gondor. That's what that is. If you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, that's the White Tree of Gondor. So I really want to get that pillow. If nobody buys it for us, I will buy it myself and have it in our nursery. So, and in case you guys are wondering about a registry, once we announce the gender of the baby, because I want to go in there and like put gender specific things on the registry. Right now it's all neutral. Once we announce the registry, pregnancy brain, I guess. Once we announce the gender of the baby, which we will be doing that on YouTube after we announce to our personal family and friends, then I will put the link to the registry. If anyone is just, Zoe is getting your phone. In case anyone's just interested in, you know, seeing it or whatever. So that is all for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really fun bringing you these videos. I really enjoy filming them, and you know what, even if nobody really watches these are going to be a great like keepsake for us to look back and remember the pregnancy. And yeah, so but I think you guys are enjoying them and are looking forward to them just based on some comments I've gotten. So thank you guys so much. Remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and I will talk to you guys in week 15. Bye.